I'm just sitting here, guys. I'm just sitting here taking this all in right now. I just can't do it. Just taking it all in. Just taking it all in. I literally did not create a thumbnail. I did not. I don't have any background. I don't have anything here. I just don't care. I don't care. This is probably going to be the most blandest video in terms of the look of it. I'll upload a thumbnail later for this. Don't care. Don't care. Jared Devil, Afton, what's up, guys? What's up? Really what I'm saying is just really what everybody's saying. This is the first time this year I've come on here. And right after a game. This is the first time I've come on here right after a game like this. And I told my girlfriend, I'm like, look, I gotta get on YouTube for about 15 minutes and let it out so I'm not in a bad mood the rest of the day. And I'm somebody where I don't let Steeler games affect my mood. I don't. They win or lose, I don't let it affect my mood. I like to watch the rest of the games throughout the day. But this is just ridiculous. And I know everybody can attest to it. This is ridiculous. I'm completely sick over the play and the injuries. Absolutely. When is enough enough? When is enough enough? We look at last week, right? Last week, Matt Canada's fired. It's their first game without Matt Canada. Things look a little different. Things look like there's some life with this team. And then you come home against a 2-win Arizona Cardinals team and do this and put up a performance like this. Absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely, there's no words to even say it. This is stuff right here that this is just a fireable offense. You're sitting at 7-4. You have found ways to win these games. You're in the best part of your schedule all year long. And now you're at 7-5, and you are slowly killing your own playoff chances. Not that this team's going to do anything in the playoffs anyway, but still, this is your ultimate kind of season goal is to make the playoffs and try to make a run, right? That is probably almost every team's goal every year. So now you're in a situation where you're 7-5. You have the Texans win, Colts win, Browns could win today. You did it to yourselves. And does honestly any of you guys in the chat, the 5 of you in the chat right now, do any of you guys want to see the Steelers team in the playoffs? Really? Right now, I don't. And to be honest with you guys, after Kenny got injured, I turned the game off. I didn't even watch the rest of the game. I kept up with it on Twitter just to see what was going on because I had zero desire, and Kelsey will tell you guys, I had zero desire to watch this game. Mitch Trubisky comes in. We know it's going to be dog shit. Mason Cole's been miserable. And right when Mitch came in on the 4th and goal play, guys, it was shotgun. I'm sure we all were in agreement. We knew what was going to happen. They go in shotgun and run it with Najee Harris on 4th and goal and get stopped. What else did you expect? Anybody with a brain, any Twitter coach, anything like that would know that is a horrific, horrific decision. The likelihood of that working is absolutely nothing, unless you maybe have a Derrick Henry on your roster. Give me a break, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. And that was it. Once that happened, that's it. I'm done. I turned it off. I couldn't watch it. I knew what was going to happen. This is absolutely embarrassing. But don't worry. Tomlin and the players and the coaches are still going to get their weekly paychecks. You play one damn game a week. You have a whole week to prepare for a game, and that's the product you give out. Every fan deserves a refund after that game. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Afton, there is no point. There ultimately is no point. You are, let's see now, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're 12 games in the season and you're still putting up games like this. You are still putting up games like this. 12 games into the season and you're putting up games like this to a 2-win team. We need a QB who isn't so brittle. Claude, I agree. And listen. And you guys can let me know your thoughts. What Kenny did last week, he looked like a new quarterback. And the first drive of the game and then that last drive before he got injured, he was looking okay, right? He was looking okay. But how long? Right now, you're at 12 games in this season, in his second year. Jeremiah, that's what I'm trying to do, brother. That's what I'm trying to do coming on here. This is honestly a rare episode of In Hindsight, live after a Steeler game. What, like, really, you have a quarterback now who has played over 20 games and has left 5 of those games injured, who has missed maybe 3 games, who every other week looks to be getting banged up. And now he has a severe ankle sprain. Who knows how severe it is? I don't know. But it's concerning. It's concerning because Kenny's in his second year, and no one ultimately really knows what you can fully get out of the guy. It looked like he had a new brace on life a little bit with firing Matt Canada. If you guys hear anything, it's just the rain. The weather's been absolute misery out here, as you guys have seen by the game. But seriously, like, we don't know. We're going to end this season most likely not quite sure what we're going to fully get out of Kenny Pickett without Matt Canada, and who is constantly getting injured. So I personally think you have to consider something at quarterback. I'm not saying what to do. I'm not saying what you need to do. I'm saying you need to consider it and put thought into what you want to do. Because whether you draft a quarterback, Kenny's going to be here next year. But whether you draft a quarterback or you sign a quarterback, you need somebody that's going to push him. Because going into next year, he hasn't earned the starting spot next year. One of the best attributes to players, availability. And he's not available. It's ridiculous as well how injury prone this guy is. Head injuries, rib injuries, ankle injuries, leg injuries. And it's killing the team. And the most frustrating part is seeing what goes on. The most frustrating part of Kenny getting injured is that we all wanted to see how he was and the offense was going to add on to last week. And then we weren't able to really see that because he got injured the middle way of the second quarter. And now we don't know when we're going to be able to see that again, when he's going to be healthy again. Because that's the ultimate goal here, is Kenny's progression. Everybody's interested to see how the offense is going to do without Matt Canada. Especially how different it looked. But seriously, guys, it's just enough's enough. How many times year after year, and I'll go through your comments here in a second again. How many times year after year, guys, do we see Mike Tomlin getting out-coached by less superior coaches? He got out-coached today by a first-year head coach who's won 2 games all season. How many times do we see a Steelers team drop these games 2 to 3 times a year to these 2, 3, 4-win ball clubs? And it kills their playoff chances. It kills their seeding. It kills the fan base. It kills any type of momentum you're trying to build. It's ridiculous. There's no accountability. Tomlin's going to come out and say, well, the rain had a factor into it. Garbage. The Cardinals suffered the same type of consequences with the rain, but yet still put on a good showing and scored 24 points. See what you guys are saying. Yeah, Jared Devil, you're a champion for watching through that garbage today. They might have to go outside the organization. Absolutely they do. Absolutely they have to go out the organization and get an offensive coordinator. 100% they do. Enough's enough. Kenny gets a proper evaluation with a competent OC. I'm okay with that, Jared Devil. I'm okay with that. Listen, like I didn't think Canada should have come back. I don't think Matt Canada should have came back this year, but the Steelers did what they did. They wanted to milk out every inch of Matt Canada they could have, so they didn't have to fire him. It got to the point you had to fire him because you're losing the locker room. So, okay, you want to, if you're, but I just don't think Kenny should 100% just be given that starting job next year because he hasn't earned it. I want the guy to do well. I think every Steeler fan has wanted the guy to do well. But the fact that he's getting injured every other game and is made out of paper, that's concerning for a year 2 quarterback. He's had 2 concussions. He's already had a banged up ankle. He's had banged up ribs the last 5 games. I was expecting good play followed by a step back in a week or 2, not an immediate plummet off a cliff. Well, right. I think those were the reasonable expectations. You look at last week. Offense comes to life. Kenny looks like a new quarterback. Guys are getting involved. Middle of the field's getting used, right? Sure, they put up 16 points. Should have been more than that. But we all expected coming into against a 2-game win, or not a 2-game win, a two win team, that you're going to add on to that. It's a great opportunity to add on to that. And the first drive of the game, okay, it was starting to look like that. Ball down the field a little bit, right? You end up in a field goal, shocker, but still, little bit of hope there. Then your next 3 drives on offense are garbage. And then you have a pretty good drive that gets Kenny and that Kenny gets injured in, and then it's just an absolute disaster from there. So, yeah, Afton, I agree. I think those are really our expectations. And then, there's probably going to be, there's still going to be some bumps and bruises there, but at least something, some consistency. Ron, what's up, man? Were you at the game today? I know your dad and Corey were there. Holy cow, I feel bad for them. Put Mason in. I'm tired of this shit. Always putting everything on offense. Score points. Pickett gets hurt too much. He has a vagina. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I think Kenny's a tough guy. I think that he would almost play through almost anything if he was able to. But it's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous how much how hurt he's getting. And he can't be getting hurt right now, dude. That's the thing either. He cannot be getting hurt right now. He has proved nothing in the league. So him getting injured the way the way that he has been, it's hurting him. It's killing him. It's not like he's been in the league 4 or 5 years now and has shown some stuff. He's shown nothing. Ben would have played. Absolutely, he would have. Been at work all day. Dude, you're better off, believe me. Bring somebody in for competition. You'll have to pay. Yeah, absolutely. Mitch needs released. He's a waste of a roster spot. The defense can carry the offense every week. Yeah, and you know what? The defense was dog pissed today, but the defense at the end of the day has been a big part in them winning these football games. So I was dreading all the post-game rants, but your commentary spot on. We have issues. We need to address them. Spot on, bro. Brian, what's up, man? I appreciate tuning in. Good to see you back in the chat, man. Yeah, dude, I just had to come on here because I did not want to be in a bad mood the rest of the night. It's not worth my time. But I needed to come on here and say something. Literally, no thumbnail. I have no intro. I had no intro. I have nothing here because I just don't care. I needed to come on here and just talk. I really just did not care. But yeah, man, it's just and really any Steeler fan, the things I'm saying is the same thing you guys are saying. It's the same thing everybody else is saying. But it's just when's enough, man? When's enough? Having these games every year that you lose to these 2 to 3 win teams. When is enough, dude? When's it going to happen when you actually have a relaxing win? When you actually have a relaxing ball game where you can actually play up to your competition and just play better than them in every aspect of the game? When's that going to happen? I'm disgusted to watch Tomlin. Yeah, it's the same crap. He's going to blame the weather. You watch. He's going to blame the weather. The weather factoring into them losing. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Mark my words. I'm not going to be on here too much longer, guys. I'll be on here for probably another 5-10 minutes. Like, are they going to lose to the Patriots? Are they going to lose to the Patriots on Thursday? Yes, they are, Ron. Yes, they are. They're already, yeah. They're wasting the years of Watt, Highsmith, and Fitzpatrick. Absolutely, they are. I'm not 100% sold on them beating New England next week, especially if they're going to start Mitch. I'm not sold on it. He will not get an extension, and that's the thing, Claude. That's going to be interesting next year. Next year's Tomlin's last year on his deal. If he goes into that, if he goes in next year without that 1 year left, no extension, yeah. Start Mason. I agree. I agree. Start Mason, and it's not saying that because Mason's this and that. It's like, dude, you can't get any worse than Mitch. Nobody wants to watch Mitch, man. He's the most boring quarterback I've ever watched. No Kenny, no Landon Roberts. Is TJ going to be healthy? Who knows? I don't even want to think about the Pats. No, what excuse will they come up with? Yep, they'll lose to New England if Mitch starts. Book it. I hear you. Probably. My hopes aren't high. Yeah, it's absolutely sickening, man. Steeler fan, I agree. Start Mason. Nobody wants to watch Mitch play. That's exactly why I turned the game off. I can't stand it. He sucks. He's boring. Steelers Lee, what's up, man? Appreciate tuning in. Kenny's injury prone. Bottom line, absolutely he is. That's why I say you got to consider all options at quarterback. Who wants to sit? Listen, do any of you people in the chat want to sit through another season next year with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback, who has another year on his contract, and then Kenny, who we're ultimately not going to know what he ultimately is next year again? 2 years in, we're not going to know really any type of grasp of what he is, and then possibly him getting hurt again. I think you have to consider all options, and I want Kenny to do well. I really do. I'm not a Kenny hater. I want him to do well. I was bummed out he got hurt because I was excited to see what if he could add on to last week. It's absolutely garbage, dude. Kenny just gets hurt too much. Draft somebody, put pressure on Kenny, trade a future first, have 2 first rounder next year. Dude, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for drafting somebody to put pressure on Kenny, 100%. He has not earned the starting spot next year. What has he done to earn it? Nothing. He's not on the field, or he's just not playing well. Tomlin's future with the Steelers could hinge on whether or not we get a playoff win or not this year. I mean, it's possible too. We can draft up a backup, no joke. Same with middle linebacker, corner. Yeah, they need a corner. They need a middle linebacker help, man. They really do. The middle linebacker injuries have hurt so much this year. Kawan and Cole Holcomb, 2 guys that have shown to be immediate upgrades at linebacker this year, and then both out for the year, and they have Landon Roberts with the hamstring, and it's just brutal. Yeah, Mason Cole is miserable to watch each week, Afton. We all know that. They need to draft a center. Cardinals were like, don't hurt Trubisky. I'd rather have seen Boswell back there playing quarterback. I want to root for Kenny, but it's getting hard to watch him because he gets hurt and you can't trust him. Yeah. He's hurt. You don't know what you're getting ultimately. That's why I think a lot of people were excited to see him if he could add on to last week, which I think he was playing decent till he got injured. No, they're not going to win a playoff game. They're not healthy enough, number one. Number two, they're not going to be able to put up the points to do it. Yeah, Child with Corn. Appreciate you tuning in, though, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not good. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it hurts Kenny so much of him getting injured, because he hasn't proven anything. He hasn't proven a thing in this league. Georgia center, yep. I don't know if he'll go in the first or second round. We'll probably go in the first round. But yeah, guys, it's just we're all frustrated here. We're all frustrated here. I'm just here to rant to you guys, hear you guys rant. This is an open forum for you guys to rant. Say whatever you want. Team's a disaster. I might even skip the Thursday night game, to be honest with you. If Mitch is starting, I might skip the game. To watch them win 10-7 if they win. No thanks. I love this team. I do. Just like all you guys do. I've never seen a Steeler quarterback disagree under pressure. Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. He sucks under pressure, man. He sucks against the blitz. Um, he doesn't call anything to shift the line too often. If there's another pass rusher on the other side, he panics. He does his little roll out to the left that gets him sacked every time. I may have several adult beverages Thursday before the game. Afton, I don't think anybody can blame you there. Seriously, shout out to all those who are going to the game Thursday night. I feel sorry for anybody that's going to have to sit through that. That might be one of the worst games of the season across the league. It's just absolutely pathetic, dude. Losing to a 2-win team when you're 7-4, you're fighting for a playoff spot. You have talent on your roster, $100 million defense. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's the thing. The Steelers play 1 day a week. Sure, they're not going to win every game. Sure, they're not going to play good in every single game. But going into a game like this, right, you're kind of excited to see them build off of last week. Can this finally be a game where you can sit back and breathe and the offense puts up some points? Nope, can't have that. Yeah, Mitch is one of the biggest busts in NFL history. No question about it. One of the biggest busts in NFL history. I'm sure he's a good dude, but dude, he's just not a good football player. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Afton, honestly. Jeremiah, I've been a Steeler fan since 1975. I've never been this enamored about a Steelers QB since this one. Yeah, it's just bad, man. It's bad. Kenny hasn't thrown a touchdown in, 2 months? Granted, like I said, Matt Canada gets fired. He looks like a little bit of a different quarterback, which was great. But like I said, him getting injured doesn't help him by any means. It does not help him by any means. The guy does not deserve to be given the starting spot next year. Yeah. Yep. Can't tackle. Missed assignments. Getting burned by 4-string wide receivers. Sounds about right. But really, how much do you guys think it's a Mike Tomlin problem? And I'm not saying my opinion on it. I'm asking you guys in the chat. How many of you guys think it's a Mike Tomlin issue for this team? Because each year there's the Tomlin specials at least twice a year. You had one in Cleveland a couple weeks ago. You had one today. So that's 2 games in 3 weeks. I'm interested to know how many of you guys think it's a Mike Tomlin issue. Kendrick Green. He's at least part of the problem. It's not changed in how many years. Well, that's the thing. How many times? I mean, Mike Tomlin's going to enter his 18th year next year. How long can you keep the same voice in the locker room? How long can you keep the same voice in the locker room for? How long can players buy into what you're trying to sell? And each year you fall short. I think Tomlin's done out. He very well could be, Ron. It's going to be very telling if he does not sign an extension this offseason. But it's frustrating because the Steelers team we all knew should have been a little better than last year. And they're really not. They're really not. The defense is ranked 30th in a handful of statistical categories. The defense doesn't create turnovers the way that they should. Sure, they'll get to the quarterback. They've had injuries. But throughout this year, the defense has been very underwhelming, even though they've helped them win ball games. The offense, we all know how miserable the offense has been all year. Tomlin's not adaptable. No, he's not. He's definitely not. I think I like Tomlin, but he may need to change his scenery. He very well could. To me, I'm starting to look at it like an Andy Reid situation from Philadelphia in 2012. Tomlin's good enough to not get fired, but not good enough to take a Super Bowl ever again. Tomlin's time is at an end. It very well could, man. It very well could. And Mike Tomlin's done a lot of good things. I've appreciated Mike Tomlin, what he's done. I think really almost any player you listen to would love to play for the guy, but it's just When you're continually trotting out performances like this year after year, especially when you're supposed to be getting better, you're supposed to be a team that's developing, you're supposed to be a team that's better than last year, and you're still putting out performances like this. He also needs a good quarterback. Yeah, he does. But even with Big Ben, they still crap the ship with games like this. They still had Tomlin specials every year. I don't think Tomlin has much of a knack for offense in the NFL. No, they wanted to keep Terrell Austin, Brian. I never liked that promotion ever since it began. Just because he does well coaching up DBs doesn't mean he should be a defensive coordinator. So I hope Terrell Austin takes that Syracuse job and gets the heck out of here. Guy sucks. Yes, it has. Yes, it has, Ron. Just how long? Like, and even you look at like Omar Khan. What's Omar Khan feeling, man? What's Omar Khan thinking about? What's he feeling? Because last year was his first draft, and he did a really good job as of right now. Afton, appreciate you tuning in. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see you next week. But what's Omar Khan thinking, man? Does Omar Khan want to start fresh? Does Omar Khan want to have his quote-unquote quarterback? If they go out of the organization, Daniels made this point, going out of the organization and a new offensive coordinator comes in here, does he want a fresh start at quarterback? There's things to be answered. Does an offensive coordinator want to come in here and coach Kenny Pickett when he doesn't really know what Kenny Pickett is? He didn't blame the rain or delays. He said they just played. Well, hey, there you go. Steeler Lee, appreciate you doing that. I have no desire to watch his press conference. So thank you for doing it for me. He did not blame the rain or delays. He said they just played losing football. Yeah, they did. They're a bunch of losers, man. And they're still going to get paid their paychecks and not care in the end. That's the thing that pisses me off with football, dude. When players get injured, yeah, that's part of the game. But you guys play one game a week. You play one game a week for 4 months. 5 months at the most. Players are out with ankle injuries, hamstring injuries for 4 weeks. Give me a break. I'm not discrediting how much injuries suck. I'm not discrediting that injuries or discrediting injuries in general. But seriously, you're conditioning every week, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can't play because my toe hurts. Baseball's just as bad. Yeah, Cole definitely needs to go. Cole definitely needs to go. He's a hindrance on that line. Guys like Sayamalu and James Daniels have to make up for his mistakes. Tomlin's part of the problem. Canada was one part. Instead of progressing, they seem to be regressing, and I feel Tomlin's part of the problem. How the Steelers finished 2023 should tell a lot. Yeah. They're on pace right now for 9 wins. That's what they're on pace for. So, could be another 9-8 season. Really, when you look at their schedule coming up, you got New England on Thursday, which is going to be one of the worst games of the season. You have the Cincinnati at home, which is a division game. Those aren't ever easy. And then you go on the road to play Seattle and Baltimore. Realistically, with what we saw today, with we don't know how long Kenny's going to be out for, how many games they win in there? 2? Appreciate you tuning in, Ron. Take care, man. Everybody's just tired of it. Everybody's tired of the status quo. Everybody's tired of the year-by-year 9-win seasons. Absolutely we are, Ron. Absolutely we are. It's just in a game like this that you should have handled the Arizona Cardinals, and you just absolutely look like the worst team in football today. It's hard. It's hard to be a fan today. It's hard to be a fan. It's hard to take pride in being a Steeler fan today. But yeah, I think just most fans, especially after today, I think most fans are just tired of the status quo. Status quo, losing games you should win, 9-8 wins, mediocre play, same speeches, lack of change during games. Yeah, George, that's what I'm saying. I know everybody in this chat feels and thinks the same way. I'm going to go a few more minutes, guys, and get off of here. So thank you to everybody who's tuned in to this live stream for a half hour. Just put your thoughts out there. I don't know how there's any fan that can sit there after this game and just be positive. Or say, on to the next one, on to next week. I don't know how there's any fan that can sit there and not just see a problem. Or not be frustrated. Or thinks everything's fine. Steeler Lee, I agree, man. I like him. I think that there's potential there, man. If he goes in the second round, 100%, take him. Put pressure on Kenny, man. Like I said, he doesn't deserve the starting job next year. He did nothing to earn it next year. Deontay pissed me off. Yeah, dude, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke, dude. That's exactly just another problem with the NFL is so many of these wide receivers in the league, it's all they care about. They just want to score their touchdowns. They want to have their stats look good. They don't care about winning. Deontay Johnson doesn't care about winning. I like him, but he doesn't care about winning. George Pickens doesn't care about winning. Antonio Brown didn't care about winning. It's one thing as a wide receiver to want the ball and to want to be effective, or to get frustrated if there's a couple weeks of things not going well for you. But it's another thing as well to have a competitive nature of wanting to win football games. And there's just guys on this team that check out when things don't go their way. Is that coaching? Could be. No QB, lots of injuries, questionable coaching. Absolutely. That's why Thursday is not a win for the Steelers. It is not a guaranteed win. Mike Tomlin has struggled against Bill Belichick head to head. I don't have a lot of confidence the Steelers are going to win Thursday. This could be a downfall. Bill Belichick has outcoached Mike Tomlin his whole tenure. Patriots are garbage. We all know that. But still, see how their injury report looks, blah, blah, blah. If you're starting Mitch against still a Patriots defense that has some guys there, how confident are you, man? We were tired of the status quo with Cowher. Now with Tomlin, it's rapidly heading that direction. Time for a head coaching change. Get used to hearing this, Steeler fans. Yeah, Jeremiah, it's going to be telling, man, if Tomlin goes next year with that just 1-year deal on his contract, that could be it. I mean, 18 years as a head coach for a team's a long time. It's a very long time. I wish I could take the passion Coach Cowher had and inject it into Tomlin every week. When we don't play with passion, we usually lose that week. Yep. I don't know. Tomlin makes excuses for his players a lot, it seems like, too. Patriots by 7 on Thursday is definitely possible. It could be 7-0 for all we know. Any fan that put up with that rain and awful game, absolutely they should, man. Absolutely they should. The Steelers should have a freaking spine and refund those fans that game. 100%. I know it comes with the attend at your own risk, pretty much. But with the performance you put on and having to be delayed after delayed like that, and a lot of them didn't even stay the rest of the game, middle in the third quarter. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. There's not one person out there, and there's not one team out there that takes the Steelers serious. The days of teams looking at Steelers on the schedules being fearful or being concerned, those are over. Those are over as we can see it right now. Who's going to be scared of a team that lost 24-10 against a 2-win football team? Not me. I'm not. Go a couple minutes, guys. Couple minutes. So if there's any more comments or thoughts you want to put in, go ahead. It's an open forum. Yeah, Minkah Fitzpatrick apparently broke his hand, I guess. Jeez. Put a cast on, return the game. I mean, Mink, we all know this, guys. We all like Minkah Fitzpatrick, man. He's a ball player. Does anyone notice when we lose, getting our butts kicked like nothing worth fighting in those games? Niners, Texans, Browns, Cardinals all beat us up. Yep. Those are 4 games right there, man. Those are 4 games this season that the Steelers have gotten their ass kicked. And you want me to buy into the fact that they're going to win a playoff game? Tomlin won't be resigned after next year. Yeah, it's definitely possible. You have a new GM, a new assistant GM. You're going to get a new offensive coordinator, possibly a new defensive coordinator. Why not a new head coach at that point? Tomlin's had a great tenure here. Next year would be 18 years. He's won a lot of games, been to playoff games, won a Super Bowl, been to 2, had a lot of talent to work with, but he's had his problems like every other coach. But it's just how long can you go on for with the same old each year? The same message. How long can you do it? The Patriots are going to move on from Bill Belichick after this year, 100%. If we get a new coach, he has a losing record, how much patience you give him. Well, that's the thing, Steeler Lee. I've always kind of been somebody who's like, I like staying committed to coaches. I think it really just kind of depends what talent you give him to start with. And then usually 3 years is kind of the hot spot. So, like, if he's got talent to work with, but like there's that lack of development, that lack of progression there, I'd probably say 3 to 4 years. But really is as we sit here after this terrible loss against the Arizona Cardinals. Brian, thanks for tuning in, man. Hope to see you next week on Wednesday with Daniel. Take care. Have a good night. I'm ending on this, guys. As we sit here with the Steelers losing miserably to the Arizona Cardinals, a 2-win football team. Yes, they are, Claudia. Yes, they are. They have not grown in any kind of way this season. The defense has not gotten better as the year's gone on. The quarterback has not gotten better as the year has gone on. We know the offensive coordinator should have been fired long ago. But as the Steelers sit here losing to a 2-win football team, 2-10 football team, whatever it is, what's the ultimate answer the last 5 games of the year? What's the answer? Play better defense, coach better, execute better, run the ball more. Like what's the ultimate answer, guys? Right now, I don't really think there is one. I don't really think there is one right now. Absolutely, he does, man. I hope he takes that Syracuse coaching job. Get out of here. He's never been a good play caller in this league. Don't worry, still getting his paycheck, though. No matter how guys perform, they're still getting their paycheck. Don't worry. Joke. Absolute joke. They deserve every inch of backlash and criticism they get. And I hope on Thursday night it's not a packed crowd. I hope it's not. But I'm in on this. Like I said, what's the answer? These last 5 games, where do you go from here? Where do you go? Losing to a 2-win team right now, being 7-5, you can't really get much up from here. Or I should say, you can't really get much worse from here, right? So where do you go? What's the end goal? What do you try to do on Thursday that you didn't do today? I don't know all the answers to that, and they probably don't know either, but they're going to have to try to figure that out quick. But to each and every one of you who have tuned in, thank you guys for tuning in. This was just a really quick impromptu live stream. Like I said, I didn't even put a thumbnail on this. I did not even put any type of graphics on this screen. I just wanted to come on here, say what I had to say, listen to you guys, and get out. It's made me feel better. Who would pay good money to see that product? I really don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. People that are gonna spend hundreds of dollars to go to that Thursday night game, save your money, please. Claude, I appreciate it, man. Well, I'm sure we'll probably see you Wednesday. But yeah, guys, I don't really think anybody has many answers right now for this team. I really don't. I really don't think many do. Don't really know if the team does. We'll see what happens with the injuries. There's been a handful of them today. Just has not been good. Has not been good. But it's deflating. It's frustrating. Of course, losing to the way they did to the Cardinals. It's frustrating not being able to see them add on to what they did last week when there was some optimism there. But what can you do, guys? There's nothing we can do. There's nothing I can do. You just have to sit and kind of see what happens, how it plays out. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, guys, we're going to leave it there. I'll be back on Wednesday, my channel with Daniel. We'll talk about this game, probably talk about the Patriots game. No idea if I'm going to watch it. I probably will a little bit, but like, I just don't know. I just don't know. There's just no desire. Absolutely, Claude, it was pathetic. So, but shout out to all you guys putting your comments in the chat, giving me your thoughts, guys, hearing what you guys had to say, hearing what I had to say. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens as this week goes on in a Thursday. I just don't know how any fan has any type of energy or excitement to even bother with that game. So it's just embarrassing. It's sad all around. So, all right, guys, take care. I will see you Wednesday. Unofficial Steelers podcast with Daniel. Take care.